Hey there, and welcome back to the podcast. If you've been listening for a while, you know the show has tried to focus on tips and news and information for everyday AI users. But I'm starting a new season. I don't really know how podcasts change seasons. I think it depends on the work they do. But I'm changing this to season 4 because I'm making a kind of big shift. We're changing the name from AI for Everyone to Simplifying AI. I am wrapping up my brick and mortar teaching career and starting a wonderful new job this summer with Williamsburg Learning Academy. And I want this podcast to meet the needs of both my students at Williamsburg Learning and potential clients and customers for my Simplifying AI business. So from now on, these podcast episodes will focus on the 4 fours of AI, which is the system I use to teach students and adults a way of approaching and growing through AI, a little bit of news about what's going on, and then a reminder to check out simplifyingai.net or Hanson Education Services to find out more, to learn more about the program, and to see examples. I won't be sharing any big, long examples here. Mainly, we'll be talking about things on a weekly basis to keep people moving forward and hopefully get you over to simplifyingai.net. I think most people know now that AI skills are important. The Boston Consulting Group just recently released an executive report titled AI Will Reshape More Jobs Than It Replaces, which is good news for people who are willing to learn about AI. We've worried so much about the AI apocalypse, the jobs disappearing, and more data is showing that it's not about those jobs disappearing or being eliminated, but them being reshaped. And according to the report, over the next 2 to 3 years, 50 to 55% of all jobs in the United States will be fundamentally reshaped by AI. Most people will keep their current job titles, but the daily expectations of how they work and what they are expected to produce will be entirely different. Companies are no longer viewing AI as a minor software update. They are actively embedding it into their core business strategies, meaning career advancement and promotions are becoming tied directly to how well employees manage these tools. So for people already in the work world and for students who will be moving into the work world, the sooner they start cultivating their AI proficiency, their AI taste, the better off they will be. So this week, we're going to talk about the 4 fours, which is the system that I came up with to explain to people how to move forward with AI. A lot of people just think about the AI tools when they think about AI. AI tools are important, but really we're moving into a phase where it's not about a tool. It's not just using an LLM to be more efficient. It's more either a system or a new philosophy of work. So the 4 fours are, as you would think, 4 different areas within 4 different concepts. The first is tools, and this area focuses on 4 types of tools or relationships. So I try to explain to people that you need to be able to function, at least for today, with an LLM like ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude. And that allows you to do a great deal. But you also want to make sure that you have some type of research tool. So in Google, the best one is clearly Notebook LM, but Claude has a system of projects that you can link together with Claude Cowork and other things to do research in an organized way. And ChatGPT or OpenAI has both deep research and folders or projects or a custom GPT. The third sort of level of tool is some kind of customization. So it can start with things like a Google Gem or an OpenAI ChatGPT custom GPT or a folder or project in Claude. And then there are lots of other ways to customize. You can pay for things outside those main models. The fourth area of what we're calling tools, and it's really more than tools, is the workflow. Being able to bring these things together. The easiest one to explain is Google, because they have such an expansive system with so many things going on. When you use a gem in Gemini and Notebook LM, you can sync them together and then use your docs and your sheets and your forms and your Keep and all the other Google products together. Google is really pushing hard on this. So that's an example of workflow. Now, the second of the 4 fours is really simple. It's basically levels. Understanding some kind of way of relating to levels. And you can call them 1, 2, 3, 4. Or I use the metaphor of water and talk about them like a beachcomber, a swimmer, a snorkeler, and a diver. And the difference is that beachcombers or level 1 users are people who are just familiarizing themselves with AI. They are learning about it. They're trying a little bit here and there, and they're coming to understand the different ways AI can play a part in our lives. Level 2, or what I call swimmer, is someone who's productive with AI. Someone that's actually using it to do productive things on a regular basis, either daily or at the latest or the longest weekly. A level 3 user or a snorkeler is someone who's building their understanding. They actually understand how AI works. And this is a big step as we move into more comprehensive capabilities with AI. It's not necessary to use AI, but it is extremely helpful to get good at AI. And when we talk about the next set of 4s, when I start talking about AI taste, it's pretty essential. And then the 4th level is the diver, and this is people who create things. And so it's like the idea that you can stay in the AI for a long time. So if you're creating your own agents or apps through Claude Code or Codex or Google's AI Studio, and you're creating things that then sync together with other products, that's level 4. We're not talking about level 4 like in the people who create actual AI models. That's a whole different discussion. But these levels are really helpful, especially as we talk about the third 4 of the 4 fours. And that is the concepts. And the first really important concept is called the ESCT cycle. ESCT is an acronym for experience, skills, confidence, taste. So when you are a level 1 user and you start experiencing AI, you realize that you can do this, and then you start to cultivate skills, specific AI skills. And then as you do that, your confidence grows a little bit, and you realize, hey, I can go try something new. So you build more experiences with different tools or more capabilities within a tool, and then your confidence grows even more. And this cycle, this experience, skills, confidence cycle starts to develop the 4th letter in this process, and that is taste. AI taste is really important. Now, right now, AI taste is still the term often used for having a style or creating a feel or being in the zone or something like that, where you start to realize what's going on and you start to cultivate a deeper understanding of how things fit together and your own way of doing things. It's really exciting when you start to develop your own AI taste. It's quite amazing. The second concept is leveling up. And this is just going through the ESCT cycle so that you can go from a level 1 user to a level 2 or a level 2 to level 3. And it's a constant process. It consistently builds on the ESCT cycle and you improve dramatically. But we want to have that mindset of constantly leveling up, believing in the growth mindset. So that's really important. The third concept is what I call the ethical skeptic. There is no doubt that there are a lot of problems regarding AI, and we want to always distrust AI, at least to a certain extent. So we want to build our skepticism. We want to be ethical users. We want to be critical. We want to push back. We want to do research or listen to this podcast about what's going on with the environmental impact, how it's affecting jobs, how it's affecting learning. But there's no doubt that it is not going away. And people who want to be competitive need it. And everybody who uses it is going to be able to do not just more efficient work, but expansive work. I have been able to do things since I've really cultivated and developed my AI skills that I just never could have done before. The last concept is HITL, or human in the loop. You'll hear it all the time in AI circles. It's absolutely essential that we keep humans in the loop as much as possible, everywhere possible. And this is going to come up over and over again, and it's directly connected to the ethical implementation and use of AI. The fourth four is the different domains. So one isn't higher or lower than the other, but usually the first one is either as a student or a personal use. So one is personal application and use, using it for all kinds of things, including being more efficient with your grocery shopping, or for me, it includes things like being a better beekeeper and gardener. I have AI gems for both of those, and I've done much better since I've used it to help me. So the personal use. The second is academic or students. And this is a huge domain. More and more AI is going to be used in education, and it's not just about bringing it in so they know, it's also, when used wisely, it improves education. When used poorly, it does not. It causes problems. I personally think the human in the loop part stays really, really important here. Students and people using AI need to cultivate their cognitive abilities more than ever, because the things that make us unique and special that AI can't do will become more and more important as we move forward. So for students, that's an essential part. The third possibility is professional, for work. And the benefits here are enormous. And this is where AI is the most essential. It is critical that people in the work world, especially in any kind of information work, anything done with a computer, that they understand how to use AI at work. But some of the fastest growing areas of AI usage for professionals is in the trades, plumbers and electricians. And so I would really love to help anyone who's interested in that area. And the last domain is creative. And this is probably the least cultivated and perhaps least essential, but it's dynamic, fun, and exciting. Making videos in Google Flow, or creating cool images in OpenAI's extraordinary image program. There are all kinds of possibilities. So those are the 4 fours, and that's really what the system is grounded in. Now, I want to try to keep these episodes succinct so that you can listen to them relatively quickly, trying to keep them under 15 minutes. So that's where I'm going to wrap up today. Next week, we will talk about the application of some of these fours and get more specific. But if you're at all interested in the 4 fours, or mentoring or consulting, please go to simplifyai.net and send me a contact. You can fill out the AI audit or just contact. And if you just send me an email and tell me what you're looking for, I will be extremely happy to help you with whatever I can. I have 26 years of experience as an educator in classrooms, rural classrooms, teaching some of the most reluctant learners possible. I am certain that I can help you understand AI better by simplifying it to the point that we can all grow. So once again, go to simplifyai.net, or you can go to Hanson Education Services to see some of my projects, some of my work, and then learn a little bit more about me and my overall business. Remember, everybody needs these tools in order to stay on track, in order to prepare for the future, and it would be my great honor to help you get ready. Talk to you next week.